What up, peeps? It's your Super Sketch artist, Antonio, back with another review. This time it's going to be a little bit different. We've all seen the first day of the Scott Porter unboxing, so I didn't want to wait. I just wanted to give my actual raw review of what we saw. So first up, we have the Shield Agent. The Shield Agent, I hope WizKids continues to do this if they don't do the Expendable Goon. Them having that Hail Hydra trait that allows them to switch styles is perfect. Not only is it thematic for what those characters do, but also it gives life to a dial that's not that long. Point denial is so big with this type of dial. I absolutely love it, and it switches up the your play, your game play. It's I can't wait to do it. Next, we have the Kree Soldier. First off, this sculpt is great because it lets me feel that we might get a new Genis Vell, because this costume is the same type of costume that Genis Vell wore later on in his, run as Captain Marvel. We've already gotten the prime Captain Marvel that's Genis that looks in this costume, but just seeing this again makes me think we might get another Genis. I love that character. I love that character. His whole storyline is just great, but I love Skrull team ability, and them having the Skrull team ability and then being able to switch when they want to, not necessarily just when the first hits, but when they choose to, they can switch. And then switching to Outwit, having that dial making it so that you could potentially shoot at them, and if you try to shoot at them, they can switch to a Skrull and then get a 19 defense and have Outwit with sidestep and precision strike. I cannot wait to play a bunch of those figures. I love Skrulls. I love evasion. Anyone who knows me knows I love evasion. Next up, we have the Wasp. Now, the Wasp is one of my favorite pieces from this unboxing so far, simply for two reasons. One, that sculpt is amazing. Her being tiny and sitting on the Pym particles, chef's kiss, like, it's just so good. You know I'm an artist, so I love the artistry that this sculpt displays. So 10 out of 10 for, the sculpt. But then you give us a piece that's actually really good. Hypersonic with, Scott Porter had mentioned a feat card, but what, on yesterday's unboxing, but what he forgot to, mention was a feat card called Stunning Blow, which was when you used Incap, you also dealt your printed damage. Now, she doesn't have to Incap you because she gives you an action token every time she hits you. Her having dual bolts too, her having precision strike also means that you can potentially bump up her damage. There was just a Captain America that came in the Black Panther set that came out last week that when he uses leadership, he bumps up characters with Avengers, not only their attack, but their damage as well. So she could potentially be out here doing 4 damage to 2 people and giving an action token as well. I absolutely love this piece. 10 out of 10. Next, we have a piece that is very near and dear to my heart, which is Iron Man. Now, I love Iron Man. His name is Tony. None of my name's Antonio, but none of my family called me Antonio. Everybody calls me Tony. All my close friends call me Tony as well. So, with that being the case, the Silver Centurion armor is when I first started collecting Iron Man. He was in the Silver Centurion armor when I first started collecting comics. And the Armor Wars was going on when I started collecting comics. So this, not only is that sculpt, that armor is very near and dear to me. Is my first, real crack at Iron Man. Like I had the toys as a kid, but this was it. But this dial, he has the same type of trait that the Miles, again, that we just got in the Black Panther set has when he's next to some non-debris terrain. You can't see him, which is great, especially with non-debris tokens being the thing. Like for me, he's a scientist, so him and his buddy Swamp Thing will be hanging out, and Swamp Thing just makes a plant terrain marker under him, and now you can't see him, and Swamp Thing will be tiny. So fun times. I'm kind of sad he doesn't have a team ability. It's weird because he definitely was a founding member of the West Coast Avengers in this armor. Also, it's Tony, and Tony is one of the founding members of the Avengers. And if they don't have a Stark Industry team ability, he should always have Avengers because he's essentially always been on the Avengers in some kind of shape, form, or fashion. Now, his dial, not only can he see through stealth, which is great, especially, again, we just got Black Panther. So him cutting through stealth is great, especially with like range pieces. Cutting through stealth is great. Him having energy explosion with that and the outwit, it's going to be good. He's a great seal piece. 100 points is a lot. And him having no secondary line. Now, I love stuff like that because I want to pay for power. And late dial, him being able to shrug off, like potentially shrug off some attacks with the impervious and healing from the impervious. Also, while being able to deal 3 penetrating, I'm probably going to, just right now, I don't even know everything that's in the set, but I'm probably going to give him the broadsword to just bump up his defense. So on those later clicks, especially if you somehow make it to his last click, he'll have a 20 defense. And if he uses his impervious, if you play him correctly and you get away from outwit or second blast, he can potentially heal all the way back up to click number 2. That's amazing for 100 points. I don't know what the prime is going to do. I'm sad that it is a prime because I already know it's going to be silly. And there's so much prime real estate. No pun intended. But there's so much prime real estate in the game that it's hard to determine. What we just got Rhodey for 80 points, who is amazing. So I'm expecting this Tony to blow some stuff out of the water. But that Rhodey and Colossus and all the other primes, even Rogue's my favorite prime right now. It's going to be hard, but this guy is just absolutely amazing. So let's go to one of the things that have popped up that's going to be big in the game, not just this set, but in the game going forward, which are one-shots. So the first one-shot that we got to see in the unboxing is I Must Have It. Now, when a finalized character's attack roll is a 9 or more, which a 9 is not hard to either generate through, game effects or something like that, or just roll sometimes, you can unequip an object and remove it from the game. That's huge. That's huge. In Silver right now, Dark Side is all the rage. And knowing that someone can just take this one shot, which is only 5 points. I love that these one shots are relatively cheap, but they are going to, again, be fighting for that prime real estate on the sideline. But knowing that you can just take someone's object away without having to do anything special, I just have to have this on the sideline. I just got to roll a 9. And now it's adios, amigos, it's gone. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I cannot wait to see what these one shots are going to do. I like that they're all unique, so you can't double up, even though I'm sure they're going to have someone that's like, oh, you can play the same thing eventually down the line. I do like that it takes up a sideline slot. They make you essentially earn it or pay for it, not only with the points, but with the prime real estate, with all the deities, with all the different things that sideline active characters like Ares and Poseidon and Zeus, all those type of characters. Midnight Angel for someone like myself. I love the Wakanda set that just came out. So Midnight Angel is going to almost be a staple with the Wakandans that I'm playing. Ares is going to be a staple on most people's teams because Blades is so prevalent in the game and it's all over the place. So these one-shots are going to be vying for that precious space on the sideline. And I cannot wait to see what all of them do. It's 15 of them. 15 one-shots. This set is going to cost so much money for me and everyone else. The next figure that we saw that kind of caught my eye was Nebula. So Nebula has what I hope we get to see. It's almost like the Trader type of thing, but like we saw with the Shield agents and with the Kree guys, she can switch in her dials. We also got to see this. The last figure I remember seeing this with was Mr. Negative in the Spider-Man Beyond Amazing set, where he could switch dials. Him and Kingpin could switch dials, and they could do that mechanic. And I love that very type of play, that customizable type of play. And with Nebula, you can essentially customize how you want to play her. You can play her as an attacker, or you can play her as a defend piece that, is that more team-oriented thing with support and everything and empower. I absolutely love this piece. For 50 points, she's going to see play, making it so that you can essentially be a close attacker and then go into a defend piece with that support and with that empower. I see her being not only a good seal play, also in pulp, she's going to be amazing. She probably won't see competitive play, but she will definitely see lots of seal play, and she also should see some pulp play as well, because I think she's very good. Next up is a rare that we saw at, if you went to Worlds, you got to see this sculpt in person. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. He's my favorite. Well, yeah, it's stuff in the background, but Spidey's right down there and over there and all over the place. So Spidey's my favorite superhero. So I love getting all of these C and D list Spidey villains. WizKids, give them all to me. I know that the Spider-Verse set is coming out next year, and I cannot wait. We saw this guy. If you saw Across the Spider-Verse, we saw the Grizzly in one of the containments. We saw him. It wasn't this exact version of him, which is the comic accurate version, because it seemed silly for a big guy to have a bear. But after they did the Rhino, they was like, well, let me just do a guy in a bear suit, you know, if we have a Rhino suit. Anyway, this Grizzly does not disappoint. First off, not only can the trait with the terrain and everything like that, but that special attack and defensive power that he has, charges hold dial, okay, fantastic. But Giant Reach 2, and then either being able to give you an action token, which I'll probably never use, but being able to reposition, him having Giant Reach 2 means he can charge out 4, so he has a 6 square swing when he hits. Then being able to hit somebody, potentially with super strength, because he can pick up an object, so I can potentially hit you for 5 damage, maybe more with some of the older terrain if you're using it. And maybe, I mean, who knows with the Smash and Destroy stuff that's coming out next year in the new Hulk set, who knows what kind of terrain we'll have in there. But him being able to pick up some terrain, smack somebody for at least 5 damage, and then say, okay, here, not only can I knock you back into not only can I knock you back into a wall and potentially give you more damage, but then I'm gonna grab you and put you back behind me for a kill box. Him at 60 points is okay, but when I was watching, I was like, why would you ever play him at 60 points when you could play 2 of him at 45 points? I usually like to play people at their full dial, but him at 45 points does every single thing that it does at 60 points. So he will get played. Oh my gosh. And then the invuln and combat reflexes. So up top, he has a 20 defense for 5 clicks? 5 clicks of 20 defense up close. When the game is pretty much 90% all close combat. So him having a 20 up close, come on. This guy is a throwaway character, and WizKids gave this guy such a good dial. Holy crap. I cannot wait to play the Grizzly. People in the Weapon X set, people were going raving about Panda Pool. This Grizzly is going to be so good. Him having, he has spy keyword. Him having spy keyword means that he can be a Wakandan. What? So I could potentially team him up with, I think it's either it's Okoye gives Spy Wakandan. Then if you team him up with, if he's next to Black Panther super rare, now he has stealth too. So he has that. So he has stealth. He has Wakanda keyword. OMG. And then if Queen Ramonda is on the field, and he's within 7, which is not hard, he would have a 19 base defense. And then add in, so 21 up close. Are you kidding me? OMG. I cannot wait. And he's a detective, so in silver, I get to play the mystery cards and any new mystery cards that we might get mystery cards in the Spidey set. Who knows? Because Spider-Man Noir is in there. They gave him one in Spider-Man Beyond. They might give him another one in this new set. We don't know. Fingers crossed again. But this Grizzly is amazing. The super rare Ant-Man, okay, WizKids, give me my props, all right? Give me my props, WizKids, all right? Y'all made this shrinking sculpt and everything like that. I know you copied me. You copied me. I know you did. You copied me. The last time we had got Ant-Man, I did that sculpt where I put one of the other sculpts and I modded it so it looked exactly like that, like he was shrinking, okay? So WizKids, give me my props, all right? Stop copying me, all right? Just go ahead and hire me. It's okay. We'll make some cool stuff together. But this Ant-Man, he does exactly the types of things that you would want from an Ant-Man, the size manipulation and everything like that, him getting the close combat, him getting the super strength. Super strength is so important now, with not only being able to reposition people with knocking people back, but also all the terrain that's out in the game, being able to pick it up and kind of manipulate it around the board is so important. Him having to empower if he needs to, so he can get carried and, you know, give some empower while also having shape change, while also having the combat reflexes. So he'll be a 20 up close. Him also having stealth. Again, he's a spy, so he can be a Wakandan, which is crazy. He can be an Avenger. So again, that Captain America can bump up his, he already has Avengers keyword, but he'll also bump up that damage. So now that close combat expert that he could potentially get as a giant, which is great. So he can just be a giant walking around. Him having 9 movement is great, because I thought he would probably have a small movement because, you know, he's tiny, but him having 9 movement is not that's very rare in today's game. A lot of people end up having like 7 and maybe tops out at 8, but him having 9 movement and being able to turn into a giant and then just kind of move, and then next turn still being a giant, and then taking, you know, a token off himself with willpower. I absolutely love what this piece does. He's a great super rare, only for 60 points too. And he ignores characters when he moves, so you can't time down, even if he is a giant. Not that he would have to necessarily worry about breakaway, but if he does turn tiny, you can just get up out of there. Or if he's normal size, you can just get up out of there. Absolutely fantastic. Another one-shot that we saw was the Soul Siphon one. Now, again, with so many bystanders in the game, I can tell you right now, one of my favorite combos that I'm going to use with this is everybody gets regen, and I'm going to play Falcon and Red Wing and have a whole bunch of bystanders on the field, and then have everybody regen for free. Beetlejuice is going to be a problem, but for free, regen, and then just kill all these bystanders. And when they die, what happens is when they die from the unavoidable damage that they take, then what I can do is use Falcon and Red Wing to potentially just keep them on the map. Amazing. I can't wait to use this. Also, what you can do with Soul Siphon is you can also manipulate, again, that manipulation, that customization. A lot of people like myself who played a long time ago used to push to get to certain clicks. You could potentially use Soul Siphon to heal somebody up and then push and give somebody damage just to get them to a click that they might have wanted to get to. Who knows? Again, we don't know everything that we have in this set. So knowing that these one-shots are going to be in boosters means they can be available for seal play. So seal play for this set already is going to be through the roof for me. I cannot wait, cannot wait, cannot wait. The play at home kit was shown. You had the Gamora, had the Nebula, but that Gamora, I got to talk about the Gamora. OMG, that Gamora, first with the Reap trait. Lots of characters in the game now cost 0 or, 30 points and lower is easy to get. Starro is one of the most popular figures in the game right now. And again, with Beetlejuice coming out, if I have the first turn and Beetlejuice comes out, just because I see a Starro across the map, then that's no healing. None of that, all that healing for free stuff is out and moved out the window. So while he might get healed, he also might not get healed at all, or maybe 1 or 2 clicks, who knows. But her being potentially him, he was still, if you get a Starro and you kill a Starro or somebody that costs no points, or, get 10 victory points off a bystander is great. Especially, again, I just mentioned that strategy where you get no points. Butterfly is super huge, so being able to kill a butterfly and get 10 points off of it is going to be interesting. Her being 60 or 35 points means she's probably going to get played at 35 points just because that's the way that most people play. But I love her at 60 points. The hypersonic, the 12 attack, the empower, the blades. She activates Ares really well with a high attack. You can't modify her combat values because she's Guardians of the Galaxy. Also, the other trait that she has is Sibling Rivalry. She modifies her combat values +1 if a friendly character that shares a keyword with her hit this turn. Again, you can, with Assassins, Warriors, again, she can be a Wakanda, or she can be on a team with Wakandans. Assassins is huge, and it is a keyword that is gaining momentum with every set that comes by. It's going to take a hit next year when Notorious retires, but it still has a lot of good stuff in it. But I love the sculpt. I love this look for Gamora. We haven't seen this before, and this reminds me of a little bit, dial-wise, it reminds me a little bit of the first time we had seen Gamora in the game in Secret Invasion. I love that super rare. So this version of Gamora, I'll buy this. This is one of 3 reasons why I'm going to buy this play-at-home kit. A, I love the play-at-home kits. I love new maps. I love when the figures are great in the maps. But the other thing in this play-at-home kit that really says that everyone has to buy it is the one-shot that's coming out. It is called Rivalry. Okay. Rivalry is going to be a staple of the game unless they nerf it. Unless they nerf it, it's going to be a staple of the game for the rest of HeroClix. When a friendly character attacks a single character and they share a keyword, which so many figures in the game with so many people using the same figures and keywords and stuff like that, that is not hard to do at all. This whole time I've been talking about teaming other people up with other people and keywords and cheating with keywords and all that type of stuff. Making sure that you, with the most popular figures in the game, can attack another character that shares a keyword with them, and it's an automatic hit. I don't even got to roll dice. It's an automatic hit. My genuine feelings is I don't like it, because you have certain pieces, characters that I love to play evade, and this one shot gets around super senses because it just says they become hit. So becoming hit is just like with Energy Explosion, and you can't roll shape change because you become a target. So I do not like how powerful this is for 5 points, especially knowing that trick arrows are a thing. We don't know what trick arrows are going to be coming in the Deadpool Iconics. Knowing that how the combos work with trick arrows now, knowing what people can do, knowing what's even one of my favorite pieces, which is Super Sword, knowing that Super Sword is guaranteed a hit that can knock you back now and then hit you without him rolling dice. So who cares if you have a 20 defense Colossus? Who cares if you have a 20 defense any of these other pieces? Who cares if you have Super Senses Arachnite or any of these other Spider-Man that you know, again, Spider-Man's coming out. All these pieces that have a way to evade getting hit, either through big defense or, you know, I just was talking about Grizzly, or evasion with Spider-Man. Knowing that you can auto hit and, again, just do some crazy stuff, I do not like it for 5 points. This doesn't need to exist in the game, unfortunately. It doesn't. All the other ones I enjoy for the most part because they're not game breaking. This could potentially be game breaking. I want to see where this goes. I'm glad this doesn't come in a sealed booster. I'm glad that it is accessible to everyone. That is a good point about it. Everyone can have this. So everyone gets pretty much like a 1 free hit. It's like a, you know, get a hit free card in Monopoly, something like that. But overall, I do not think it's going to be good for the game. And I do not think that we need stuff like this. Game is so complex. And I love the strategy of the game. Taking things away that take away the strategy, one of them is rolling dice. That is that's a big part of the game. Taking that away for simply 5 points is never a good thing in my eyes. So, WizKids, please stop making stuff like this. But I like one-shots overall. One bad apple doesn't spoil the bunch. Overall, I think one-shots are great. I think it's great to just do an effect. And all the one-shots are going to be interesting. Again, it's like 15 of them, so I can't wait to see what all of them are. But this one right here sticks out. This is the sore thumb right here. I hope none of them are as bad as this, but it's going to be interesting. But with that being the case, that is my review of the first day of Scott Porter's unboxing. I cannot wait to see what the rest of this week has. And with that being said, what say you? How do you feel? Are you liking the sculpts? Are you liking the pieces? Are you liking the point values? I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. Please, please, please. I love talking HeroClix, as you can see. So let me know. What say you? Again, this is your Super Sketch artist, Antonio. As always, be good to yourself. Be good to others. Go be super.